Hey everyone, I wanted to share with you a simple improvisational concept that has been really helpful for me. And so, yeah, it's just a kind of a great way to use stuff that you already know to create a more outside sound when improvising. So you can do this for jazz, you can do it for rock. Um, and So I thought I would just go over this. Basically, the idea is this. If you have a chord progression like a 2-5-1 in the key of C major, so for example, if you have like a D minor chord to G7 and then to C major 7. Let's see if I can point this a little bit. So normally the idea would be, over the D minor you play maybe D Dorian, and over G7 you would play, Mixolydian, and then you resolve to C major, and all that's good. So in this concept, you are basically borrowing from C minor over the 5 chord. And so what I mean by that is, over the 5 chord, that's where we have a lot of freedom, and a lot of attention can happen and can resolve. And so basically, if you can take, you can take any mode, or not any mode, but basically if you're thinking C major or any mode of C major over the D minor chord, so that could be C, or it could be D minor, or even G7, G Mixolydian over the D minor chord. And then when you go to the G7 chord, you're going to play any mode of E flat major, which is a minor third up from C major. And so if you think about the relative minor of E flat, what does that give you? It gives you C minor. So I feel like I'm doing a bad job explaining this, but it's really simple in that you can think about this chord progression in different ways. So you could think about it in the traditional D minor to G7 to C, or you could think about it as any mode of C major, and then any mode of E flat, and then resolve back to C. So you get some pretty neat concepts. So I made this little graphic here. One of them is, so there's like a D minor 9. Now instead of going to G7 or thinking G7 when you're improvising, think E flat major and then resolve to C. So your lines sound more like this. It's pretty nice. Or another way you could do it, this is just 3 quick ways that you could think about it. You could think of D minor and then go up a minor third to F minor and then resolve to C. Or, what I think is kind of the coolest one because it's just so dead simple, is over the D chord, play C major, over the G7 chord, play some kind of C minor, and then resolve to C major. So this one really works really well with like bluesy stuff. So let me see, I have this little backing track. We're going to see how this goes just to try and demonstrate it. So let's start off with the first example, the D minor to E flat major to C major. So the recording you're going to hear is just me playing D minor, G7, C major. All right, let's give it a shot here. Hopefully you can hear that. D minor, G7, C major. So now I'm going to play D minor over the D minor chord, E flat major over G7, and resolve to C. So here's my D minor, and then you resolve. Let me stop for a second here. Let me just back up just 1 second. So the D minor, I'm kind of thinking like D Dorian, which is all the notes of C major. And then when I get to E flat major, I'm thinking just this E flat major scale. And then I want to hit, shoot for like G or E when I land on the C major. So that's kind of what I'm thinking about, and the scale patterns underneath. So let's give this another try here. You can hear that. It's just, to me, it's so simple because you're using basically major scales to create these great sounds. Okay, let me stop this for a second here again. All right, so now D minor to F minor to C major. So I like this one because it's just so parallel sounding. You can just play the same lick twice and then resolve it, and it sounds really great. So, for example, let's take this D minor chord. You could do this arpeggio like a D minor 9, and then play F minor 9, and then resolve to E. Resolve to C major, but resolve to the note E. So you get things like pretty neat. You could do bluesy stuff. So let's see how that sounds here. All right. Let me try that again. So made a few mistakes, but that's okay. Now the last one I think is really great, and it's such a simple concept that I think, if you have a handle on your major scales and your minor, that you can pull this off. And it has a great like blues connotation to it. So this one, I'm gonna think C major. So I'm thinking kind of like the C, major pentatonic. And then over the G7 chord, I'm just going to play C minor pentatonic or C minor blues. And then resolve. So you get some really nice So my teacher used to call this the my baby done left me, my baby come back. And so it's this idea that you're playing something happy, you know, and then she leaves you. And she comes back. So anyway, I'll play around with this a little bit here. Okay. Well, I was kind of troubled there at the end. Anyway, I hope that you find this helpful, useful. The main takeaway is you kind of think of this a lot of different ways. One way you could think of it is just playing up a minor third. So like whatever you know, if you're playing D minor stuff, then we get to G7, go up a minor third to F minor, play the same kind of stuff, and then resolve it. Another thing I like seeing D minor to E flat major because it's a half step up. To me, that's pretty, you know, visually easy to see the to E flat and then to resolve it. And then the coolest one of all, I think, is just this idea of C major to C minor back to C major, just playing around, you know, going in and out of the major to the minor tonality. So anyway, give that a try. Hopefully you have fun. And yeah, here, maybe I'll hit play on the on Logic here and you can give it a try right here in the video if you want. All right, thanks for watching, listening. If you like this kind of stuff, maybe consider subscribing to my channel. I've been trying to do more of these live streams. So if you like this, leave me a comment, say hi, and I'll write you back. All right, good night.